Hello guys, welcome to the second part of our lesson where we'll be looking at the coda, which is what comes after the center. Now, in the coda, we have two possible situations where we have a final two consonant cluster or a final three consonant clusters. In the final two consonant clusters, we have two subdivisions. One where we find a prefinal and a final consonant, and the second where we find a final plus a post-final consonant. And here we have the set of consonants that we consider pre-final and the others that we consider post-finals. So, if we have a combination of two consonants in the end of a word, we are going to consider as being pre-final ma, na, la, and sa. So these, if we see a combination of two, where these ones come at the beginning, come first, these are going to be the pre-final. And if we find other types or other combinations of two consonants in the end of a word, but then we find a set of other consonants combined with s, z, t, d, and the ones that come before any of these is considered as being the final consonant. And one of these that coming after that are going to be considered as being post-final. To understand it better, let's look at examples. So we have the words bank and bend. Very easy for us to understand this clearly. Now, the first example, the word bank. As we can see in the coda, we find a combination of two consonant sounds, and k, bank. Now, what kind of combination is this? This is a combination of a pre-final and a final consonant. Why? Because we can see from the list that when this consonant sound comes before, it is considered as being pre-final. Okay, and then everything that comes after it is a final consonant. Clear? Now, the second example, bend. We see a combination of two consonant sounds as well. And we see that we have n before t. So we also have what? A combination of a pre-final and a final consonant, where n is the pre-final and t is the final consonant. Easy, right? And we have the second case where we combine a final and a post-final. If you have any doubts, I advise you to write down this list so that when you are before a syllabic division or syllabic analysis, you will be able to tell with no mistake which one is a final, which one is a pre-final, and which one is a post-final. Now, we have a combination of what? Final and post-final. So everything that comes before this set of post-final consonants is considered as being the final consonant. And any of these consonants are going to be considered the post-final. Let's see the examples we have. Beds and eighth. Okay, With beds, we have a combination of two. As you can easily see, combination of two in the end. And what happens is that we find a the, which is, in this case, is a final consonant. And the, if you see from the list, it is a post final. And we have the word eighth. So eighth, we have a combination of t and th. Here, we'll have a final consonant. And our th, if we see from the list, it's the post final. Easy. And we have the second type of final consonant clusters, which is made up of three consonants. So the most common case here is where we find a pre-final, a final, and a post-final. But we also have a special case which we'll be looking at after the explanation. Let's look at the examples first before we move on to the second case. Now we have helped and buns. So we have three consonants, and this is our coda, center, and this is the onset. Now, in our coda, we have a combination of three, la, pa, and t. Now, according to what we have already seen, and according to that list that we made up previously, we know that la is a pre-final, pa is going to be our final consonant, and t, lastly, is going to be the post-final. The same happens to buns. We have na, da, and s. Na is a pre-final consonant, da is the final, and s is post-final. Now, we have a special case where we can find more than two post-final consonants. Why does it happen first? In English language, it's very common to have a combination of four consonants in the end of a word. Four is the limit, not more than four. And these are the cases where we can find more than one post-final consonant. In these cases, so that we can call the other one as being post-final too, it has to be different from s, z, t, d, and the. So whenever we find a word where after the post-final one, the post-final two has to be different from that, from one of those. Otherwise, we don't have a post-final two. So this is the end of our lesson. I really hope you enjoyed the lesson and you've learned a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Tell me on the comment section where do you watch me from, and stay tuned to the next lesson. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.